Hey, show me your tattoo. Chances are, if you're like 1/3 of the people in the United States, you have one. More than likely, you have more than one. But how safe are tattoos? Tattoos and permanent makeup are all the rave, but the ink still contains some toxic ingredients like mercury, lead, arsenic. So I spoke with veteran tattoo artist Matt Goss of Syndicate Tattoo in Manhattan, Kansas, who spills the ink in this episode. Artist and all the things that you know in the industry.
My name is Matt Goss. I've been working in the industry for 25 plus years. I've been tattooing for 18. I've owned Syndicate Tattoo here in Manhattan, Kansas, for the last 14 years. So I've
And
I've done some national test writing stuff for different state tests. Has served as subject matter expert. I've had the opportunity to speak at international tattoo conference or permanent makeup conference, talking about technology and stuff on tattooing. Um, and then, yeah, I served on the Kansas Board of Cosmetology as a body arts rep a few years ago. So I've had an opportunity to serve in a lot of different capacities. So,
that's awesome. Yeah, you obviously know your stuff. And Tana Perry, who will be on the show later, who is one of your clients who raves about you, couldn't say enough about your reputation and your artistry and your knowledge in the industry. This is a hard question. During the past 25 years or 18 years, roughly how many tattoos you've helped apply, um, or how many
oh
clients?
God. In my first 2 years of tattooing, I did over 3,000 tattoos. So in 18 years, I mean, so we started out with a lot smaller tattoos, back then, and we're doing a lot larger stuff as you get into tattooing more. But I would conservatively say I've done, probably 15, 16,000 tattoos. So it,
That is a lot. So you know your stuff. You probably have some a repeat clientele that come back for
oh
more.
yeah, tattooing people's grandkids at this point, which is funny. You wouldn't think just in 18 years you would hit that, three generations of people, but I am tattooing people's grandchildren that I've tattooed, which, just like overlap. They were older when we started tattooing them. So, but it is interesting. And, word of mouth in a small town like this, yeah, it keeps you pretty busy. And I think our shop does have a good reputation in our area. So we've done a lot to help with community. We like to work with nonprofits. We have a nonprofit of our own here called From the Ashes, where we help with breast cancer patients, and we do areola reconstruction and mastectomy tattoo cover-ups as well.
Oh, awesome. So since the title of this segment is Toxins and Tattoos, think before you ink. What would be your
Uh-huh.
advice for anyone that's a virgin tattoo wannabe before they select someone or before they get that first tattoo?
Oh, I always want people to wait. I've done a lot of cover-up tattoos in that amount of time as well. I usually tell people if you think of something you want, wait 6 months. If you still want it, get it. If not, repeat cycle. You will or will not eventually get tattooed. I would love to take everybody's money, but I would love more for people to be happy and make informed decisions of what they're getting. And it's a lot harder to take them off than it is to put them on. So I've also done some laser training in the years past, just with, and I'd refer people to laser clinics around here a lot before we do cover up tattoos because sometimes there's tattoos that are really hard to cover unless they get some lightning done on them so that the other tattoo doesn't push through. So
So,
yeah, wait, always wait.
yeah, wait and think. And how about selecting an artist like yourself? Do people come in and ask to see your credentials or your certification or your background or anything like that?
Um, People ask to see our portfolios a lot, and we keep a lot of that online now after the COVID times. You know, touching things inside studios isn't necessarily something people want to do a lot anymore, and so we keep most of our stuff online so everyone has availability to see our portfolios. I really think that a lot of times people even come in just because I'm familiar with their family and they'll ask me to do something. And sometimes I'll refer them to other clients or to other artists just for the simple fact that it may not be a style of tattooing um, that I'm either comfortable doing or I think someone could do it better or faster. Um, I don't do a lot of figure drawing things. I like to do a lot of like geometric and mandala, a lot of black work and dot work. I'll do a lot of flowers with dot shading, and I love that style of tattooing. And obviously, I do all kinds of tattooing. But if you wanted a Japanese sleeve, I would refer you to, say, Jason in our shop. If you wanted something that's like American traditional, like Jason or Jewel might be a better fit for that tattoo. And I'm comfortable allowing people to make those decisions and give them more opportunity to get maybe, I won't say yeah, better tattoo or better experience with that. Those are styles that I can tattoo, but I think that those artists are better and more equipped to do those tattoos than I am. So yeah, I'm not out there trying to tattoo everybody. There's a specific style that I've kind of honed in on through the years, and I like working in that style more, and so I like spreading it around and letting people get the best possible outcome for more bang for their buck. Let's say that. How about that?
Yeah. Let's talk about the not sexy part of the business, the regulatory part of the business. You had mentioned something about cosmetic regulations, what they were like, and what
Sure,
they're moving towards. Can you tell us what's going on?
sure. I have a friend who's really involved in this, and he's out of New Mexico, and his name's Ben Shaw, and he's really pushing to inform the public about some of the new regulations that are coming. One is MOCRA or MACRA, depending on how you pronounce it, but it's the Modernization of Cosmetic Regulations Act, which was, I think, passed in December of 2022. But the federal government is now still collecting data. They're registering all the tattoo pigment manufacturers, and they're starting to look into more regulation in those products. We haven't really had a lot of regulation. We haven't had a lot of regulation in those products in the years past. Um, the FDA has required on our SDS sheets to make sure that pigments are tested to parts per million of heavy metals and toxins, um, but they haven't really been involved in that very much. So there are some good things that could come out of it. Uh, However, a lot of it's being led, and a lot of consumers are being misled um, by some affluent cosmetic industry, like large cosmetic industry people who are trying to change for their own profit. And what it has ended up doing is causing a lot of turmoil in our industry. And it's actually started to give people reactions to tattoo pigments we haven't seen happening. You know, we've had some in the last 30 years, mostly reds that people were allergic to. But I think that our industry as a whole has been really good at governing ourselves and and making sure that those products wash out. A lot of tattooers, when they develop something, they'll tattoo it on themselves, and if it's not working or if they're having problems with it, then they're the one who is affected by that. Some of these new things are scientists that are doing research, and statistics can always be skewed either way. And they're saying that the tattoo pigments that we've been using for the last 50, 100 years could be unsafe, and I'm not seeing that. The European Union has launched the REACH initiative, which is very similar to the MOCRA initiative that we're seeing here in the United States. And if you're even caught using the pigments that we're currently using, you could be fined up to 50,000 euros and spend up to 3 years in prison, which is insane in my opinion. But they're trying to change the industry that much, that fast. We haven't really, like I mentioned before, we haven't really seen a lot of reactions to pigments and things in the past. They want to say it causes possibility of lymphoma or granulomas in the skin that could increase your chances of skin cancer. I just don't see it. 25 plus years of working in the industry, I've not seen that happening. I haven't had clients returning to us saying, hey, this tattoo caused blah, blah, blah. There have been some allergic reactions here and there, but mostly it's the aftercare that they're putting on their tattoo. They'll go home and they'll put something on that has some sort of additives or some herbal supplements, and And, a lot of those herbs have reactions to them. And we've seen that in the past. We have seen some, uh, I think the big one right now that I've been seeing is people having reactions to the tattoo pigment who are on metformin. We've had some clients that have come back where their lines are raised up. It usually goes away in a month or so. But we have a really good communication with our clientele. If they're having problems, they always reach out to us. And I'm not saying that there's not some that aren't comfortable reaching out after an appointment, but we build a strong relationship with our clientele. So we have communication going both ways because we want to be a part of that healing too, because we're on the same team. So
Mhm. Do you send folks home with instructions on what would be good to use for aftercare, or how deep do you get into the aftercare with your clients?
absolutely, I can do the best job possible here in our shop, and if they go home and they put something on it that's not appropriate, it could ruin the whole tattoo. And that healing process is really important. It's probably the most important part of the tattoo. So, what we try when we have a client leave the shop, we give them an aftercare sheet, which is required by Kansas law. Um, we're supposed to provide pre-service to allow them to understand what's going to happen as with the tattoo, and then we offer the post aftercare as well. So we give an aftercare sheet. We also give a couple stickers, usually a little toy, and we also include a water-based fragrant-free lotion. That way they don't have to just use whatever they have at home. Um, and I think that has helped our results quite a bit, actually. We used to sell the aftercare products here in the shop. People were reluctant because they have something at home or something on Google told them to use this or that. But if they have it in their hand, they're more likely to use that product. So we just give it to them. We just include it in the service, and it's been really beneficial for our studio.
Well, I'm so delighted that you're here to kind of share how things are shifting and what to be cognizant of, and to really pick someone like Syndicate Tattoo, who has a history of three generations of folks coming through your shop because they trust you, and that you
Mm-hmm.
take care of them from the beginning through the healing process. Matt, would you share your social channels with the folks where they can see your work and where they can find you online?
Sure. Yeah. Our website is manhattansyndicate.com. And then we also have availability. My Instagram handle is MRGOSS_syndicate. And if you get the MRGOSS, and it usually just pops up. So you can find me there. And the shop Instagram account is Syndicate Tattoo MHK, and you can find that on Instagram as well, and that'll get you hooked up. If you have questions, I mean, everyone's always welcome to email the shop or message us through Instagram, and we'll try to get back to you. And we try to answer questions even for people who aren't our clients because we want them to have the best experience. And then hopefully next time when they have a tattoo idea, they pick us. So we have 5 artists in our shop that do traditional style tattooing, and then we also have 2 cosmetic tattoo artists here in our facility.
Yeah, well, thank you for adding value to think before you ink. I love the 6 month waiting period, and I love
It's a great
how you're
idea.
staying on top of all this regulation and the shifts and
Uh-huh.
the corporate greed that seems to be seeping into any industry that's making money.
It sure is. Yeah, the billionaires are becoming multi-billionaires, and
So,
they always leave a trail of waste behind them, and just going to make sure that that doesn't include us when they're going through. Our industries worked through a lot of things in the past with state regulations, and I feel like we've become a valid industry, and a lot of companies are seeing that there is money involved in it from the TV shows and things like that, and so a lot of them have started trying to make money off of us, um, and unfortunately that ruins it for the consumer sometimes. And so we're still trying to protect the bottom end of it because we like to get tattooed too, and so we don't want to ruin it for ourselves, let alone our clients. And so yeah, we're just thankful to be a part of a age-old industry, a tradition that's been passed person to person through thousands of years. So it's a great place to be, and we want to protect that. If you have other
right.
questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you down the road. So just reach out.
Yeah. Matt Goss with Syndicate Tattoo in Manhattan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.